Well, thank you for watching this Corn Belt Regional Forecast. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. As we talk about the storylines here, really focused over the next couple of days, watching a messy winter storm travel through parts of the southern plains, in through the Ozarks, and then eventually through the mid-Mississippi Valley, bringing some snow to parts of Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, northern Indiana, Michigan, parts of southern Michigan, or southern Wisconsin as well. And also have the potential for some freezing rain across parts of the Ohio River Valley and another round of heavier precipitation as you head into the mid-south and the southeast. The jet stream will realign as we head through the weekend back to a pattern that features split flow. The jet stream coming in from the northwest across the Pacific Northwest, combining with the subtropical jet as it races across the southeast. That means cold air really continues to struggle to set in. We will see cooler days. It is February, but overall, the warm day is going to outnumber the cold, as again, this pattern favors a warmer pattern across the Corn Belt and one that may send us back into another stormy and active pattern across parts of the south into the Ohio River Valley. So we just kind of refocus, though, on the storm system that's making its way through midweek. So you note the purple shading here across parts of Colorado, Kansas, and Missouri into southwest Illinois. Those are winter weather advisories that are already in place. So we look a little bit further off to the south, the pink shading here, winter storm warnings, and then surrounded by winter storm watch across parts of Texas into central Oklahoma. Now, as we head through the rest of today into tomorrow, certainly think it's possible we'll see this winter weather advisory be extended through parts of central Illinois into northern Indiana, southern Michigan, perhaps surrounding areas as well, as we continue to watch this storm unfold. Now, taking a look at the satellite picture on Tuesday morning, you see the flow of the jet stream right now, the ridge across the east, the big trough digging in across the west. Very fast jet stream winds go racing across the midsection of the country. That's helping draw a lot of moisture northward from the Gulf of Mexico. That makes sense then as we get the day started. The heaviest precipitation right now along and south of the Ohio River Valley, south of the Ozarks. That'll continue to be the case as we head through the day today. On the north side of that, perhaps a light drizzle, perhaps mixing with some light snow or some sleet as we head through the day today. Look at the temperature gradient. And again, where you find that temperature gradient, that is where the jet stream is. You can kind of flip back and forth. Here is our jet stream on Tuesday morning, racing over the top of that temperature gradient. And again, that is where on the south side here, warmer and moist, warmer and humid. That's where we see the more significant precipitation along, and north of that, that's where we get into maybe a light wintry mix as we head through the day today. And then it's along that corridor that we'll see the heavier accumulating snow as we head through Wednesday into Thursday morning. Taking a look then in the short term, the high-resolution NAM model, this will help us track out the final wave that comes through as we head through the day today. Again, primarily looking at rain across this region, maybe a light mist, lighter mixed precipitation just north of that. As we head through the day today, let's go ahead and flip it back here. Again, stepping through time, heading through Tuesday morning into midday Tuesday. This will be noon, starting to see some of that snow develop on the backside. Let's take it to 6 p.m. on Tuesday evening. So we're hitting the evening commute here. Maybe a light mixed precipitation across parts of central Missouri into central Illinois, central Indiana, and northern Ohio. Snow beginning to wrap around on the backside here while rain showers continue off to the south. Let's take the drawings off. Let's take it into, this will be Wednesday morning now. So all the way to 6 a.m. on Wednesday, we're continuing to see the rain off to the south. So again, that's where the heaviest precipitation is going to be along this corridor here, where the rain is just kind of continuous over the next 48 hours or so. We're now seeing the final wave get its act together. This is the one that's prompting the threat of winter weather, the winter storm warnings, the winter weather advisories. It's this wave that finally comes dragging through late Wednesday into Wednesday night, and then even into Thursday morning across the eastern Corn Belt. So timing out the heavier round of snow. This is it. As we look at this right now, 11 a.m. on Wednesday morning, taking it into noon, 2 o'clock. Let's take it to the Wednesday evening commute. So 5 o'clock on Wednesday evening, the snow is starting to push into central Illinois, the backside of it around the Kansas City area. So here's our swath now, Wednesday evening. This is where the problem area is. Potentially some issues here as we mix between some sleet, freezing rain, and some snow. So less snow accumulation, but still problematic Wednesday evening across parts of southeast Illinois into central and southern Indiana. Let's take it into the Wednesday overnight, 9 p.m. on Wednesday. Midnight on Wednesday, going into Thursday morning now, seeing the snow swath across parts of eastern Iowa into northern and eastern Missouri, across the northern half of Illinois, getting into far southern Wisconsin, and then central and southern Michigan at this point. As we wake up on Thursday morning, so 6 a.m., sunrise on Thursday morning, Still possible that we're seeing some snow falling here across northern and central Illinois, snow falling across parts of Michigan, and then it's possible we have a very light wintry mix across parts of northern Indiana and Ohio. Although what you're really seeing here is the dry slot beginning to punch in and kind of erode the precipitation across this region. So probably drying out on Thursday morning across Indiana and Ohio. Just maybe some lingering snowflakes moving through on the back side. So that helps us kind of time it out. On the back side of this, we'll see the chance for some snow flurries. We'll go back to a pattern that's favorable for clippers coming out of the northeast. Coming out of the northwest across parts of the Dakotas and the upper Midwest. Not looking at any significant accumulation of snow along with that, but the chance for some flurries as we head into the back half of the week across the north. So here's the total liquid precipitation from this storm system over the next 5 days. So this map goes through Friday evening. Again, you see the heaviest rain. This has been advertised here south of the Ohio River Valley, south of the Ozarks. This is our corridor here where we could see some winter weather impacts. We can look at the probability, the European model on the left, the GFS on the right here, looking at the ensemble probability of more than 3 inches of snow accumulating. And where you see the dark maroon shading, that is where we're north of 90% probability. You see that corridor through parts of the southern panhandle of Texas, stretching into central Illinois and then southern Michigan. And a pretty good agreement. The GFS a little bit further to the south in the European, but only by about 20 to 40 miles. The National Digital Forecast Database right now has the best chance for the purple shading here is 6 to 10 inches of snow. I'm thinking about 4 to 6 inches is a good bet here across this section of the Corn Belt from southeastern Kansas right through central Missouri. That includes, the Springfield and Joplin area, getting into the St. Louis area, into central Illinois, Springfield, Champaign, Bloomington, Peoria, getting into the Chicago area, and then Fort Wayne, and then into parts of central and southern Michigan. Going to see that potential for about 2 to 5 inches, maybe locally higher amounts. Along the southern edge, especially across this corridor here, this is where we'll potentially struggle here with this forecast as we factor in some sleet, perhaps some freezing rain. So again, a potential sharp cutoff on the southern end here where you go from sleet into a quick transition to some accumulating snow, but pretty good confidence in this corridor right now. We can take a look at one more forecast here from NOAA. We're looking at the 72-hour probability of snow greater than 4 inches. And again, you see that being cut right through the heart of Missouri right here, including the Jefferson City area back toward Joplin, and then cutting right through parts of central Illinois into northern Indiana and southern Michigan. The 72-hour probability of freezing rain accumulations greater than 1/4 of an inch. Again, the probability for that going to be highest across southern Missouri, getting into south central Illinois, and then highest across the Indianapolis area into parts of central and northern Ohio. So again, that's where we'll be talking about the potential for some freezing rain accumulation. Winds will be blustery, especially on the north side of this storm system as we head through the next 24 hours. And that means here across parts of Missouri, Kansas, Illinois, Indiana, that's where we'll see, again, these strong winds kind of coming in on the north side out of the northeast that could be blustery, gusting anywhere from 20 to 40 miles per hour as we head through the day today, into the overnight, and then into part of the day on Wednesday. Now, the good news is these winds do kind of begin to wane as the winter weather impacts begin to increase. So as we talk about what's likely going to be a heavy packable snow across parts of Missouri, Illinois, into Indiana, those winds will begin to subside, still potentially gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour. So certainly some visibility issues on the table, but not looking at a lot in the way of blowing and drifting snow with this particular storm system. Now, I mentioned the jet stream does begin to realign right now. Jet stream doing something like this: big trough in the east, trough in the west, ridge in the east. As we head through the weekend, we'll begin to see things transition back to a split flow across the country. Here we go. Now we're seeing the flow coming out of the northwest and then meeting the subtropical jet stream racing across the southeast. That's the system, or that's the pattern that leads to the potential for some clippers across the northern plains into the upper Midwest, but nothing in the way of significant precipitation. And then as we take this all the way into next week, it's very possible we go back to this alignment with a trough in the west, ridge in the east. That shifts us back into a warmer pattern across the Corn Belt, and one that could be potentially active, at least along and south of the Ohio River Valley. So as we look at the precipitation forecast, we'll just take it a little bit further, go ahead and bring it back, watching first this storm system that's making its way through, taking a while, training and kind of raining over the southeast while we see that light wintry mix on the north side before the back wave comes swinging through Wednesday into Wednesday night, taking that snow with it across parts of Missouri, Illinois, and into Wisconsin, Indiana, and Michigan. Friday evening, the storm system still making its way out. It's possible we could see some light snow flurries lingering across the eastern Corn Belt into the day on Friday. This is also when we'll shift into that pattern that could be bringing clippers and light snow flurries to the northern plains and the upper Midwest as we head through the weekend. And then we see the jet stream begin to shift. This is when we have low confidence, but are going to be watching for, again, the development of low pressure across the southern plains that could potentially track through parts of the southern and eastern Corn Belt. So as we look at the total precipitation, just taking it out over the next 7 days now, so all the way through next Tuesday, you don't see much difference when you compare this back to the map I just showed you that only takes the precipitation through the next 5 days. And that, again, is because this is again, going to be the big weather maker over the next 7 days is the storm system making its way through right now. The only change, if I were to toggle back and forth, is a little bit in the way of snow flurries here that we could see over the weekend into early next week. So we look at the temperature forecast, then again, colder air does try to come in on the backside of the storm system. It really struggles to take hold, though, especially along and southeast of this line here, kind of getting into the southeastern half of the country. That's where warmer temperatures are likely to continue as we head into next week. Just finishing with a look at your high temperatures over the next few days. We'll take it back here looking at your Tuesday highs. Again, a very sharp temperature gradient across this region where 50s and 60s are possible across parts of Kentucky and Tennessee, with highs in the single digits across the northern parts of the upper Midwest as we head through the day on Wednesday, Thursday, seeing the warm air already returning on the backside Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. Same thing with your overnight lows. We'll take it back here, waking up tomorrow morning to that very sharp temperature gradient. Temperatures very close to zero or a few degrees below across Minnesota and Wisconsin, with overnight lows in the 50s across parts of Tennessee. We see the cold air try to come in on the backside. Here are your Thursday morning overnight lows, Friday morning temperatures, Saturday, and then as we head into the weekend, starting to see warmer air begin to return to the region.